Number 1, pathology. The leader of a cultic group often has some kind of cluster B pathology, at minimum malignant narcissism. This could actually go all the way up to sociopathy or psychopathy. And the thing is, very often it's covert. They might wear a mask or veneer of goodness to use their followers' hopes and dreams to entrap them. They will appeal to their followers' most cherished values. But the followers are always reminded the leader is the superior being, and they have a lot to do to try and reach this, greatness. The followers are left in a never-ending spiral of self-doubt, shame, and low self-esteem, while the cult leader gains fuel from their adoration and obedience. Do yourself a favor, check out the work of Daniel Shaw, who wrote an amazing book called Traumatic Narcissism and Recovery, Leaving the Prison of Shame and Fear. One of the things he talks about in his book is how cult leaders activate deep shame in their followers while they themselves deny and abdicate their own shame and instead take on the mantle of a supernatural being. This tends to be common to malignant narcissists in general, but Daniel Shaw relates it specifically to cult leaders and authoritarian leaders. Followers are, by and large, good, well-meaning people with a conscience, and they cannot imagine their leader may not have any. They have to do all kinds of mental gymnastics to explain their leader's behavior, which is actually sadistic and Machiavellian. Critically important is waking up from this Pollyanna denial. It's the blind insistence that all other people have empathy just because you have it. An empathic person without the awareness of how all this works cannot truly make sense of a dark triad individual. But once they do, everything changes. Those of you who've seen The Vow on HBO saw my journey of waking up to who Raniere really was. I assumed the lack of emotion he displayed was indicative of him being, emotionally and spiritually advanced. It never occurred to me I was dealing with a malignant pathology, an empty shell of a person masquerading as a human. One of the defenses followers use is saying things like, well, I've never seen these behaviors you're alleging. The leader has been nothing but kind to me. They may not have seen anything. Leaders with these pathologies are very strategic. They have a public persona and a private persona. Like, how many times have you heard stories about people that only abuse their spouses or families when no one's looking? It's exactly the same pattern. The other defense against this is something called betrayal blindness. The victim will get angry at the person trying to wake them up rather than at the abuser. This is because truly acknowledging the betrayal and abuse would be too much for their psyche to handle. It's easier to lash out at the person trying to tell them the truth about the leader.